How a homeless James Cameron sold the Terminator for $1. James Cameron once lived in a car. His idea for the Terminator started with a fever dream. His agent wasn't impressed with the script, so Cameron fired him and sold the rights for $1. He had one condition: he would be allowed to bring his own vision to life. Now it's one of his biggest regrets. In the 1980s, James Cameron was an unknown Canadian director. He didn't have any money or reputation. The only film credit to his name was Piranha 2: The Spawning. Cameron disowned this horror flick for years. It had a meager budget of $145,000, but it became the catalyst for a groundbreaking idea. Cameron traveled to Rome for the movie's release. While there, he had a fever dream. He saw a metal death figure coming out of a fire. Cameron later said that nightmares are a business asset. He arrived back in LA with a dream and nothing else. The director was virtually homeless. He was staying on friends' couches or in his car. He recalled surviving on McDonald's and refillable coffee cups.
I was the anonymous, kind of angry wannabe filmmaker.
Somehow Cameron was able to afford an agent. The agent trashed the Terminator concept, so Cameron took matters into his own hands. Some production studios were willing to buy the script for decent money, but no one wanted to hire an unknown to direct. Cameron boldly decided to sell the script to Galen Hurd. He received a mere $1 on condition he would direct the movie himself. The Terminator made $78.4 million on a $6.4 million budget. It turned into a 30-year franchise that has seen 6 films. The franchise has grossed over $1.4 billion. The Terminator launched Cameron's career, but he ultimately regretted his decision.
I wish I hadn't sold the rights for $1.
As he didn't own the rights, they bounced from company to company. A new trilogy, beginning with Genesis, was launched in a hurry. The 1984 production wasn't without its setbacks either. Cameron initially offered the lead role to Sly Stallone and Mel Gibson. Both of them declined. The studio then suggested O.J. Simpson, but Cameron didn't think he could pull off playing a killer. Then he had a lunch meeting with Arnold Schwarzenegger. The actor was set to play Kyle Reese, but he kept generating ideas on how the T-800 should behave. Eventually, Cameron asked if he'd consider playing the part. Schwarzenegger was hesitant at first. He had just played the hero in Conan the Barbarian, but ultimately he rose to the challenge. Other cast members also had their doubts. Linda Hamilton had Shakespearean aspirations and thought it was beneath her. Michael Biehn faced sarcastic comments from his friends when he said he was working with Arnie. They replied, "Well, good luck with that." The low budget caused a lot of pain for the crew. Tom Woodruff Jr. worked on special effects. In one scene, Kyle Reese strikes the Terminator's hand with a lead pipe, but it was Woodruff's hand that took the beating. As a result, he lost feeling in his fingers. James Cameron sent him a Christmas card.
Merry Christmas. Hope the feeling comes back to your fingers someday.